Good morning. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Fullerton. It's a great Sunday to be here. Please help me read our purpose statement. We are
A loving spiritual community,
empowering all to live healthy and successful lives through practicing the principles of science of mind. I just have a reminder of my personal declaration for 2021. If you haven't submitted, please do so. You'll get back next year. And if you have not joined our club, we do have a club. It's the Unexpected Income Club. Please join. We have over $4,000. Correct?
Yes.
So,
Excellent.
be part of the blessings. Enjoying me that there is one life in all of creation. This life expresses perfectly everywhere and as everything. This life creates and expresses itself through the power and the activity of unconditional love. I recognize that I am one, that I am that life. Knowing my oneness with life, I open my heart and allow the unconditional love of Spirit to flow through me to each and every member of my human family. And with this awareness of love and gratitude, I bless everyone who's here today, physically present and watching online. There are blessings also for our ushers and our greeters. There are blessings for Tommy and his music, and for Michael, who's joining us today. Michael and family, thank you. I bless my fellow practitioners for their prayer work. For the Board of Trustees, there are blessings for their love in handling the business of the church. And there are special blessings for our Reverend Dr. Bill Salisbury for his dedication to this, our sanctuary, and for his teachings, and for the love he has for his human family as well. I bless this service knowing it is already perfect, and so it is.
Need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still. Let God love me.
Good morning again. My name is Eva Castelo. My reading for today is from our Science of Mind magazine for this month, in December 6, 2020, Sunday reading. So, the presence within you. Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is every step. If you can believe that there is a presence within us, all wise, all knowing, and all loving, then our experiment with faith has started. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind magazine, July 1972. I don't think I was born then. You are one with everything that is. The presence of the divine within you connects you to the presence in all life, everything and every person. Your connection to all life allows you to see how everything is holy and that every being matters. This oneness extends so far as to allow you to see how even the planet we live on matters and is also worthy of reverence. The presence in you is a power to bring gladness and joy into expression. That presence communicates its wisdom through your intuition, and your intuition guides you to love. And your love, you realize, is the power of the universe moving through you. It is how you see the universe in every grain of sand and in every unique, precious being. It is how you know in your soul that nothing is expendable, nothing is pointless. It is how you know that everything matters, every possible thing. To nurture my conscious awareness of the presence within, I say to myself often, there is a presence within me that is the witness to my life, watching through me, expressing as me. It is a deep and permanent place of peace within me. Then I walk as if I am kissing the earth with my feet and blessing the world with my thoughts. The affirmation for today. Today, I have a keen awareness of peace and stillness. I did not create that peace and serenity. It has ever been with me. And now join me in prayer. How good it is to simply take a moment and remember, to pause and breathe, to allow myself to become still and turn within to that all-pervading presence who's being in me, moving through me, and showing up as me right here, right now. I take this time to make a conscious choice to recognize that which always is. There is only one life, one love, one power, and one dynamic, creative intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence. It is the isness and the allness of all creation, and it is wholly and completely perfect, no matter what form it takes. This divine energy of manifestation is continually expressing itself joyfully in the most abundant ways. It is this one eternal, everlasting presence that is animating my life, that is filling me with all it is. The same dynamic creativity that is manifesting throughout the entire universe is happening within me. I know the life I lead is one of delight and joy as a living expression of the perfection of the divine. And because I know this is the truth of my being, I know it is the truth for everyone and everything. It is this creative power and presence has brought life into existence and beckons us to a greater realization of truth. There is only ever one thing happening, and that is the bountiful, joyous expression of love. This love is the truth of all that is. It is the perfect unfoldment of grace, moving from, through, into expression. I am so grateful to remember this truth and give thanks for the divine flow of love showing up in the most amazing ways. So I release this prayer into the creative mind of the one. I'd let it be and always say, and so it is. Thank you.
There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only
Wow. There's Michael Whitney. And there is only love. And sometimes, what a way to be reminded of it. Wow. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Today is the first Sunday of December. So, we have a brand new overarching theme that's going to be love and light and the Christ consciousness. You remember last 4 weeks was November. So we were talking, of course, about gratitude, Thanksgiving and gratitude, because that was the month of Thanksgiving. And I think somewhere in there we talked about how gratitude happens right now. Okay, you can't think back on the past and wish you had put some gratitude in there. Kind of doesn't work that way. The gratitude that was there in that present moment, just like it has to be in this present moment. And of course, when we talk about love, that's the same thing. It has to be done right now. And if you want to have love in the future, how do you guarantee that? You have love right now. This is a month of the Christmas Carol, right?
Mm-hmm.
We remember that show when the angel from the future comes and grabs old Silas, and they go and they look, and in that story of his life, he's not even in it. And if you remember, he said something to the effect of, well, let's change that. And the angel, of course, said, well, Well, we can't change that, dummy. It already is what it is. If you wanted to change this, if you want to have a certain type of future, you have to go back where? To the present and change it there. Because this moment, this right now moment right here, this is the only moment that we have dominion over. And it's the only one we need to have dominion over. Because if we just guarantee, if we make love our presence every moment, there's never going to be a moment when it isn't there. And we don't have to worry about how our past was. Anybody not like something about our past? Well, had we only known then, right? Wow. If I just stay true to this thing called love, which is our natural birthright, which is what we came to this existence with, God ordained, God given, and we are full of it. There's nothing else that we ever need to worry about. As long as we attend to that love that we are right now in every minute. But we have to be a little bit careful because sometimes, I don't know, do we ever give like a little bit of lip service to love? You know, we've had this talk before, right? But I'm pretty much convinced of this. If we took all the saints and all the sages, all the avatars and the prophets from all the religion since the beginning of time, and we put them, anybody ever been to Angel Stadium? Mm-hmm. Let's just say we put them inside Angel Stadium, because there's lots of them. There would be nothing there but love and light and joy and community. And it would be literally just become a vortex of that. Meanwhile, out in the parking lot, all of their followers would be throttling each other. Okay? There'd be absolute chaos and warfare and contention going on like you wouldn't believe. And if you don't believe that, look around. I mean, the evidence that that takes place is everywhere. So how is it that we could put all of these people inside the stadium and they could be absolutely, totally, completely in love with each other and themselves, and yet all those who follow their teachings are out in the parking lot having a free-for-all? Because we have to be careful that we don't just give lip service to that love. We can't just believe our spirituality. As strange as that sounds, because, you know, we're always saying, right, metaphysically, well, you gotta believe, you gotta believe, you gotta believe. Well, of course you gotta believe. But you don't have to believe what somebody else says. What's the one thing you know you can believe? Your experience. I can believe my experience if I, under some set of circumstances, felt that agape love, if I felt it in my bones, in my soul, I know what that is. I don't have to take someone else's word for it. And I promise you, we have all felt that at some point. So that being the case, why would we ever put that in the back seat and fall into this routine of the dogma, the doctrine, the listening to someone else, the drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will, and allow the trueness of love to be in the back seat? And that's what happens if we have all the avatars in one place, loving up each other, and we have the followers outside who didn't really truly feel that or don't make themselves aware of that and bring it into their consciousness right now, but they make up sometimes these really complicated systems of belief. Are we all familiar with that?
Yeah.
There are lots of complicated systems of belief. God isn't complicated. Life, spirit, nature, call it what you will. But that which is at our core is not complicated until we make it so. You ever seen a baby come into this world and start taking sides? Or start poo-pooing? Well, shouldn't say that, yeah. This, that, or the other thing. Well, there are certain things that they do a very good job of that with, my memory tells me. But it's like we have to stay away from this, from all those things that take us away from the basic simple truth of all religions has ever and always and only been love. But when we start piling on those layers and layers and layers of things, of complications, to somehow make us, I don't know, feel what? Better? More spiritual? I don't know. I don't know why we do that. But we do. And then we wonder why things are going sideways. Remember the master teacher, Jesus, he only gave those 2 commandments. Love God, love your neighbor. It's no more complicated than that. But when we make it more complicated than that, oh boy, do we get into trouble. And then after somebody writes all these volumes and volumes of doctrine, we feel like we can sit and read that. We've all done this. Yeah, you see somebody with their head buried in something, okay? The Bible, the Quran, the writings of the sages and the gurus, if you will, of our current and recently past generations. Studying it and studying it and studying it, right? And knowing that that's filling themselves up with this spirituality that everybody's been looking for. But here's something I'd like all of us to try. When we go home, get out a cookbook. You know what I mean? A cookbook. Just sit down at the table, open it up to your favorite recipe, whatever it is you'd like to eat today, and sky's the limit. I mean, because it's only in the cookbook. All we're going to do is read the recipe and savor that meal and enjoy it. Can we do that? No. You can't enjoy the meal by reading the recipe. What do you have to do? You have to cook it. You have to eat it. You have to personally take it in. You have to experience it. Not just read about it or hear about it. And when we do experience that and are ever present and paying attention, we have our awareness on what we're doing and on that feeling that comes with it. We know when we've hit that sweet spot, right? We know when love has come to us and come into us. I shouldn't say it's come to us, because it's been here all along. But remember that world conditioning that just kind of piles on conditions on top of that basic love we started with. If we were a football game, we'd get penalized for piling on. And really, it's not quite the same. I mean, we don't get the 10 yards or sit in the penalty box or you're out of here. But the fact is, we do pay a penalty for that, don't we? We do pay a penalty, and it's not even our fault. We didn't pile it on us. It's been piled on us by everybody we've ever met. anything we've ever done, any place we've ever gone, or anything we've ever belonged to. Thinking about those saints, remember we got the saints and the saviors and the sages and the avatars and the prophets there in Angel Stadium. Do they get special favor? Did they get special favor? Are they somehow specially favored by God to be what they are? No. They didn't get special favor. We all get the same favor. Remember, there's no more or less God in anybody than there is in anybody else. The difference is, these people that we hold up and recognize as those saints, sages, avatars, etc., they were aware of their place. They were aware of what was theirs to do. They were aware of being in service to love. I mean, the title of the talk today is, Love is Best Served How? Well, thinking about that, we could be thinking about it's served like, here's your biscuits and gravy and coffee. Can I get y'all anything else? That's service, right? We're being served that. And we can serve other people in the same fashion, but really we're talking about being in service to love. We say that we want to leave things behind when they're no longer in service to us, but we are in service to those God qualities. And when we aren't, that's when we're losing touch with what's working and with what we can experience rather than just hear about. Not that it's bad to get that vicarious thrill by hearing a great story about somebody else's adventure or somebody else's learning or somebody else's feeling, because that part of us that is empathetic with other people enjoys hearing about that. But we also have to have it for our very own. And we can have it for our very own because the difference between the stadium full of those avatars and us is they've gone after it. They haven't sat and waited for it to come to them. They haven't read some books or heard some talks or seen some YouTube videos and said, yeah, I got it. No. They wake up every moment and they say, this is mine to do. I'm here to be in service to love. And when I am in service to love, I am automatically in service to everybody, everything, everywhere, every time. That is how love is best served. It's how it's best served, and it's how it's best served up. So, if you ever took a glass of water and went down to the ocean and poured that water into the ocean, what happens? It becomes the ocean. Bang! There's not even any discussion about that. This is not a cerebral thing. You know, we don't need a PhD course in anything to understand that. But somehow, sometimes we think we need that course to understand how if we pour that cup of ourselves into that basic foundational love that is what this earth is all about, and everything outside of this earth, we have to become that. Just like the water had to become the ocean, we have to become that. The only way that doesn't happen is if we're, I don't know, just imagine, you know, what do we do with when we want to really make a point to kids, right? We animate. So let's say we pour that cup of water in there, and then we animate it so that it's swimming for shore. That's the only way we can avoid becoming that love that we talk about, is if we pour ourselves into it, and then we have to swim against the tide trying to get out of it, which is not what I think we want to do anyway. And to stay away from that problem, that possibility of becoming part of the parking lot crowd rather than part of the stadium crowd, which is what we should be thinking about. We have to understand the difference between spirituality and, say, imperialist spirituality, for want of a better word, because I think sometimes we see that happening. Jesus, the master teacher, was not an imperialist. He did not walk up to his disciples, or anybody else for that matter, and say, hey, you're coming with me. This is how you're going to believe. And these are the things you're going to do in service to me. Otherwise, we're going downtown here. No, that's not how this works. Because imperialist spirituality is never based in, or does never further, things like forgiveness, compassion, caring, patience, love, community. It doesn't have the capacity for that. The only kind of love that can embrace all of those things is that agape love. That love that's true and intense and surrounds and includes everything, and is not just described by what I think it is or by what somebody else thinks it is. It has to be felt and experienced and viewed just like that RScP book did. You know, they say that, the Buddhists especially, they say that the cause of all suffering is desire, right? I mean, the Four Noble Truths. There is suffering. The cause of that suffering is desire. We can overcome that suffering, and the way we overcome it is by following the Eightfold Path. Well, I'm not going to list out the Eightfold Path, but the fact of the matter, all those parts of it, action, activity, mentality, all boil down to this. They boil down to the same thing that we talk about. The Eightfold Path is a one-fold path, with just 8 little different avenues that lead to the mainstream. And that mainstream, that path, is still love. And the way we overcome that suffering is by simply getting in to that stream of love. And when we do that, we are serving it up, and we are in service to it. So I'd like to just leave you with this thought. When we are, and here's how we know we are experiencing that love firsthand, rather than getting it via somebody else or some other method. Because that love then will become a light that shines on our very soul. And we won't even know where it came from. We won't know what direction it's coming in, because it's coming from every direction. And it touches us someplace that is not our mind. It touches us someplace that just wells up within us, and it just explodes out into the world, into our everyday life, into our every moment, into our every encounter. When we do that, we are serving up love, and we are in service to that love. And when we begin to glow with that divine light, we know beyond any question of a doubt that we are here. We are that light. We are that love. We are that compassion and that passion. We are the caring and the kindness that is the hallmark, the salient features of this divine love that came with us at birth, and is ever, ever, ever present in us, can never be removed. And when we find it's covered up, we can uncover it just simply by saying, right here, right now, I uncover this love. And I keep it uncovered. And we say that to ourselves in every minute, just like we 1,000 times a day thank God for all the blessings that we have. We 1,000 times a day can uncover and release this love that's within us. Knowing this is the case, I just give great thanks for it. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you for being love and for making me in your image and likeness. So I just rest in this word. And I release it into that spiritual law, knowing it is already done. And together we say, so it is.
Thankful, so grateful. I am one in the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
So if we were having a regular full service here, we'd have our ushers come forward. Just know and recognize that this is our opportunity to share our abundance. We know that all our good comes from the one source, God, and for this we are grateful. And I just invite you, if you wish, to take your gift, your tithe, your offering, hold it in your hand, put it next to your heart. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join the divine flow. All that I share with life returns to me, multiplied abundantly. So it is.
I don't know if you believe in Christmas, or if you have presents underneath a Christmas tree. But if you believe in love, that will be more than enough for you to come and celebrate with me. I've held the precious gift that love brings, though I never saw a Christmas star. I know there is a light, I have felt it burn inside, I have seen it shining from afar. Christmas is the time to come together, the time to put all differences aside. And I reach out my hand to the family of man to share the joy I feel at Christmas time. For the truth that binds us all together, I would like to say a simple prayer, that at this special time you will have true peace of mind, love enough to last throughout the year. You believe in love, that will be more than enough for peace to last throughout the coming year. and peace on earth will last throughout the year. Thank you.
Wow. I just love these weeks with you guys. So, as you know, our practitioners are steeped in prayer, standing by here, waiting for your phone call or your visit or your email or your text. And just in the same manner that you're able to continue supporting us as you so well do during these COVID times by sending in or coming by and delivering those gifts and tithes and offerings, we'll appreciate the opportunity to be able to pray with you also. And here we are standing by at any minute. So let's just know, all of us, something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It is happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It is happening in my body.
It's happening in my heart.
It is happening in my heart.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
Love that lights my soul.
Love that lights my soul.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
And I send it forth as representing me and God.
Send it forth representing me and God.
Thank you, God, in me.
Thank you, God, in me.
Amen.
Amen.
And so it is.